just saying, the first solo record, essentially, that you've done in over 10 years. So why did you choose this particular time to kind of set Bright Eyes aside for a little bit?
I guess the main reason is that Mike Mogus wasn't available to record. Mm-hmm. So decided to just, I had these songs written and just decided to not really wait around for his schedule to align, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's kind of circumstance. But it was something that in the back of my mind, I knew at some point I would have to make a record without Mike, you know, even though he's like my best friend and that's like what we do, but just to kind of see if I could do it because he's such a safety net for my
Right, so you also produced this record and you didn't have Mike there, so how'd that work out? Was it scary?
It was scary. It was fun though because, you know, it's nice to be the one in charge and you can say when it's good enough. I mean, that's the biggest difference between us is he's much more of a perfectionist when it comes to, you know, tones and sonically what's going on because he's a producer. So I'm more, I guess, about the performance and it's like if it's getting recorded, then I'm pretty much happy with that.
Right.
I wouldn't hire me to make someone else's record or anything.
So you recorded this all in Mexico. What was the appeal of Mexico? What brought you down there?
Well, I knew that I wanted to record somewhere other than a studio, in a house, or just a place that would be more casual where we could live and record and not really have that kind of sterile studio environment. So I looked into places here, and then just through friends that live down there, they found this amazing place, which was basically a small hotel with 4 houses, small like 2-room houses. And so we rented the whole place and turned one into the studio and then just lived in the other 3. Wow. And it was perfect because it's in this town called Tepoztlán, which is like 2 hours from Mexico City. So we were isolated and kind of in the mountains and we're able to work, but then if we got bored, we could go into the city and hang out with friends and, you know.
You know a lot can happen after everybody falls asleep. As the forest fire, as the cop walking on the beat.
I mean, I'm a fan. I've listened, I know all the Bright Eyes records and all of that. And this seems to have more of a kind of a laid-back kind of feel to it, kind of a less is more kind of approach. How would you describe like the recording process of this album? Was it compared to, let's say, like the last Bright Eyes record?
Yeah, night and day, you know. I think a lot of this record was, for me, was a reaction to the experience of making Casadega, which was, you know, took a year and we went to all these different studios and had an orchestra and lots of musicians. So I just wanted to do something that was, I guess, simple and fun. You know? And it was definitely the most stress-free, enjoyable recording experience I've had in a long time. You know, just hanging out with, you know, my friends and playing the songs, and that was about it.
So the Mystic Valley band is basically just your buddies, essentially.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, I asked all of them specifically because I felt that the way that they each play would complement the songs I had written, like the group of songs I had ready for the record, and I think they have a lot of soul and they're just great players and good feel. So we've got a couple guys from Birmingham, Alabama, a couple from actually here in Los Angeles.
Jason's from here.
Yeah. And then me and Nate Walcott, who plays in Bright Eyes too. So yeah, it worked out really nice.
And you think that added to like the vibe of just the laid back kind of just hanging out with your friends, making a record, and not really worrying about much.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, just kind of like disappear for a minute and like be somewhere. I mean, that's what's strange about going down there is it's not that far away. Like it's like a 3-hour plane ride or something. It's relatively close from Omaha anyway, and but you feel away. You feel like in a different place, which is what we were going for.
How do you feel about a place like Amoeba? Do you think record stores are a dying breed? Do you think that people should be supporting record stores?
Absolutely. I mean, it's strange for me because I grew up where the record store in my town was kind of the center of the musical universe.
Yeah, like that was it. That's where you went.
Totally. There's this place called the Antiquarium in Omaha, and it was like a bookstore on the top level, and in the basement was the record store, and just sat around there, like straight out of like people's idea of like indie record stores or whatever. Just like people smoking cigarettes, talking shit about whatever albums came out, and that's where we went and hung out. And that was flyers, see what shows are coming up, and so it's a little sad to me to think that like kids now aren't going to have that experience as much or as readily. I hope they do, but it's just more, there's a lot of nice things about the internet, but I don't know.
It lacks that personal touch.
Yeah, it's just like you lose out on a lot if you're not like out interacting with people and like, walking outside, breathing the air, going places, I just find it kind of dull to sit there and stare at a screen, It's nice, it's obviously makes things very convenient sometimes. So.
It's true, yeah. So what's the future with Bright Eyes? Are you guys it's just kind of on the sidelines right now, but you'll probably go back to it?
Yeah, for
Mike's
sure.
Schedule frees up a little bit.
Mike's he's doing a lot right now. We just built this studio, and he hasn't really had a chance to work out of it a lot. So he's doing a bunch of records kind of for the rest of the year while I tour this, and then imagine next year maybe do some recording.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know there's some songs on this record about the road, and you're gonna hit it. So
yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I don't know when it's day or when it's night. All I ever see are fluorescent lights. I don't wanna die in this hospital. You gotta take me back outside. They give me all these flowers and these big balloons, but I don't wanna stay in your little room. I don't wanna die in the hospital. I don't wanna die. All the stars still in the sky. Oh, is that fat moon on the rise? Feel the earth against my feet as the cold wind calls for me.